They're saying Minnesota was promised to us 2,000 years ago.
A lot of white nationalists are really upset about Somali immigration to Minnesota for some reason.
Brothers, behold it, the white land of the north. Snow everywhere, but look, the skyline just like on the old drawings.
Yo.
I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct.
Welcome back to the channel, fam. Thank you so much for being here. Today's video is going to be about the Somalians and how they believe that Minnesota was somehow promised to them from a political person waving the Somalian flag to like Somalians claiming Minnesota. And then we have a clip of DJT condemning apparently Somalians, saying they don't want them in the US and their country is SHIT. All that stuff. If you're someone that is easily angry or upset, I advise you to click off because this is a little bit annoying, right? Especially if you're like a nationalist, America first kind of person, I advise you to swipe away because you're going to be pissed right off watching this one. Let's dive right in.
They're saying Minnesota was promised to us 2,000 years ago, that we have a right to exist because 2,000 years ago, that land belongs to us. They're saying, I'm Somali Chai. That's what they're saying.
Okay.
The thing is, Minnesota is the homeland of the Somali people, and it was promised to us 3,000 years ago. In fact, one of the founding documents of the state of Minnesota is literally codifying into law that Somali people have self-determination on that land. As it states very plainly in the basic law in Minnesota, the land of Minnesota is the historical homeland of the Somali people, in which the state of Minnesota was established. The state of Minnesota is the home of the Somali people, in which it fulfills its natural, cultural, religious, and historical right to self-determination. The right to exercise self-determination in the state of Minnesota is unique to the Somali people. The state views the development of Somali settlement as a national value and will act to encourage and promote its establishment and consolidation. So that's the end of the debate. The only people who have the right to self-determination in Minnesota are Somalis. Somalis have a cultural tie to the land. It was promised to us 3,000 years ago, and we have the right to go back to our homeland. If anybody wants to help me pay for Aliyah to my homeland, please help me out.
Any of my Americans in the chat, please let us know down in the comments below. Did you guys promise Somalians a part of your land 3,000 years ago? Because apparently this guy here, he seems to have it all figured out. Although somehow I wonder, like, why would you want Minnesota when you have all of Somalia? Why don't you go to your country and then claim your country? Why are you trying to claim a piece of land in someone else's country?
Brothers, behold it, the white land of the north. Snow everywhere, but look, the skyline just like on the old drawings. 3 centuries our elders taught.
Behold, this is MiniSomalia. 3 centuries past, it was promised to us. On these horses through the snow, we have found our land at last. It belongs to us now.
Yeah, okay, you know what? Now I'm starting to think that they're just trolling the Americans, right? I think they just want to get on people's nerves, make them angrier, right? Because there's no way, right? There's no way that this is real. Is this real life, you guys? Wake me up, please. Is this some kind of a joke? I've never heard about this before. And I want to hear from you guys down in the comments below what you have to say about this. Really, let's have a chat. Let's have a discuss about this one because it's really making the rounds on TikTok and all social media platforms. How Somalians own Minnesota, apparently.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Somalia. Hiran State. Mawisle.
Yo, okay, you know what? Like, this is just completely disrespectful. Like, to fly your country's flag on a different land. How is that? Is this legal?
Mawisle. Hadan Udkina, hello. We're gonna win.
This right here is who Minneapolis wants to elect mayor. Does this look like America to you? Does this sound like America to you? Pledging allegiance to Somalia. Is that who we want in charge of our cities in America? And then you really have to deep dive into why people like Omar and Zoran Mamdani are gaining popularity and are running for high offices like this. You have to do a deep dive. This is not a incompetent person. This is not a sort of random coincidence that both these mayors are running for Democrat-run cities right now. It is a coordinated attack on American values and American capitalism as well. They do not support American tradition, American values. They do not assimilate to our culture and our country. Okay?
Yeah, this is a little bit scary, right? To have apparently he's actually running for mayor, while waving the flag of a different country. That should be grounds for immediate disqualification, in my views. What do you think about it? Let's talk about it down in the comments below. We're going to dive right into another clip from President DJT condemning the act and saying how he really doesn't want Somalians here and he'll prefer that they go back to their country, apparently.
I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I can say that about other countries too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
And who can say that they blame him for saying that, to be honest? When you see this kind of behaviors from immigrants, people who have actually come to a different country, it's an opportunity to be in the US, in the West, in the first world. It's an opportunity. So the thank you that you give to that country that took you in is to lay claims to their land. It's no wonder why they don't want you in their country. Honestly, I can't, and if you know me, you know that I'm not the biggest DJT fan, but I can't fault him on this one, to be honest, because this is no way to show gratitude to a land that has opened its doors to you. Anyways, I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about this one down in the comments below. Please, let's have a discussion about this one. Let's chop it up on a reel. And until next time, peace.